Hello out there. Welcome to the Heavy Montes podcast and my morning show. America, yesterday, uh, America and the maggots laid to rest Charlie Kirk. And I said that after all the bars are closed, you know, that we need to find out who and what Charlie Kirk was. Not America, you know, the Soviet Union, Russia, who is showing Donald Trump's wife butt naked on national state-run TV in Russia. Okay, and Donald Trump does nothing. If somebody was showing my wife naked on TV like that, I wouldn't be honoring them and telling them that Vladimir Putin is his best friend, America. But Donald Trump doesn't have any friends. Okay, the only friends that Donald Trump have is tyrants. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Dictators, people who he loved, like Viktor Orban, who he studied to bring fascism and dictatorship to America. Now, you know, Charlie Kirk, you know how I feel about him, and I want you to do your research on Charlie Kirk. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you about Charlie Kirk right now. Talk about him anymore because, he's dead, he's gone, and they model him, they build a statue of him for the rest of our life. We can tell who and what he was. Okay, but he should not have been assassinated. That is dog. That's bad. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I believe the Russians when they say that Donald Trump had something to do with the death of Charlie Kirk. You know, another cover up, America. Charlie Kirk was coming out and saying that he wanted those records released. You see, and Donald Trump couldn't stand that. The Republican Party couldn't stand that because those records they say are devastating to Donald Trump, and they say the records will prove that he is a pedophile. Huh? And there shouldn't be any questions whether or not Donald Trump is a pedophile or not. You are what your best friend is. You see what I'm saying? And so now we need everything to come out. I don't understand, the reason why the Republican Party and their voters and the maggots and those influencers don't want things to come out, because they know. Huh? It's, they said it's a little too late to turn back now, the old song. You see what I'm saying? Instead of these back, and now the maggot influences are coming out, saying that, Donald Trump need to release these Epstein files. Okay? So if that is true, and the maggot influence and everybody, the Senate and the House and the Republicans and everybody wants the files released, release them. MAGA Mike Johnson and John Thune, who protects Donald Trump, who are pedophile protectors, lift the veil of protection from Donald Trump and show the American people who Donald Trump is. Right now, we have the ability to prove if he's a Russian spy or not. Jack Smith has the files. We have the proof to prove that he's a pedophile or not. You see what I'm saying? And when somebody hides something, and fight the way they're fighting, most likely it's true. You see, America. Most likely it's true that Donald Trump is a pedophile. Okay, that's awful, America, and a Russian spy, and he needs to be removed. Now, the Republican Party, okay, have nothing to offer the American people. They are in hiding, America. Huh? Just like I said, if it's love, that you're looking for, it's not the Republican Party. If it's protection for you and your children, it's not in the Republican Party. If it's somebody who's going to make America better again, it is not the Republican Party. The Republican Party never ever answer the question that they propose to the American people. They say they want to make America great again, but they did not tell anyone how. You see what I'm saying? And the Republican Party has no one to blame but themselves. See, they are scratching for people. Now, I'm going to tell you, American people, one thing. The Democratic Party had nothing to do with the death of Charlie Kirk. The Democratic Party had nothing to do with the assassination of Donald Trump. It is a script. You understand? They're making these things up. You see what I'm trying to tell you? They're making it up to get your mind off of what's happening. They're destroying your country. You understand? You know, they took the greatest country in the world and brought it to its knees, saying they're going to destroy the country. And you voted for that shit. And the farmers, man, you farmers, these are dumb son of guns, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you're racist. You're racist pigs. And now you want me, my tax dollars, to bail your sorry stink ass out. But you won't pay to protect women in America. You want to get rid of Planned Parenthood, huh? And Donald Trump want to get rid of you, farmer, so he can build factories and employ robots to pick the foods. You know what I'm saying? You got it? And your sorry ass, racist ass, will be sitting home broke with a motherfucker. Right where you goddamn prejudiced, racist ass belong. Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Arkansas want to take and, change the age of children and put the children in the field. Ain't gonna be no black people out there. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. Okay, and there was a lady, her name was Miss Helen, and she would pick up children and take them to the field to pick, you know, black children back then. And they would pay the black children money. So one day I walked around to Miss Helen's house, and Miss Helen was a weirdo too. I said, Miss Helen, I said, I'm like 12, 13 years old. I want to make some money. Can I go with you? She said, yeah, I'll pick you up tomorrow. So she came by the house. She's a real nice lady. I'm talking about as far as, somebody you could trust with your children. Because she took care of you, took care of the children. Nobody hurt the children when she was with them. She watched over you. And anyway, I went out to the field, and it was hot as hell, and I picked about 3 minutes. Shit, I called my grandfather and told him to come and get my ass. You know what I'm saying? I last 5 freaking minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about the slave, because I visited, you know, the slave Thomas Jefferson, right? Okay, I visited his plantation, you know, and it was horrible. You understand? For black people to go through that shit, and then you got these crazy ass white people putting up statues. Imagine 98 degrees and you're picking cotton. Imagine if you're a black woman and this old nasty stink ass white man coming and rip you and rip your children. The same thing they're doing to your children right now in the South. The Republican Party is a pedophile machine. And they have so many of them. You need to go find out how many they believe in that. They're the party of pedophilia, man. They believe that they can have sex with your children. They believe that women, it's a woman's body, but their choice. They do what the hell they want to do to women. Huh? You see what I'm trying to tell you? So you can't vote for them. And that's the reason I keep trying to tell you. You know, the Democratic Party name is not in this. Huh? Even though the corporate press, they come out every once in a while, Joe Scarborough with his scary ass. He comes out and says, well, the Democratic Party is here because we're not in power. We can't do shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Huh? Give us the power. Give us the power that you have given Donald Trump and see what happens. Huh? Give us the power that you gave to Donald Trump, the Democratic Party, and see what happens. And see how we turn this country around. Because we always do. We always do. But the biggest mistake we make is trying to bring the red states along. You see what I'm saying? It ain't going to happen for right now. The red state has to bring themselves along. Now, I have a therapist. My therapist always tell me, you know, she says, look at it like this. She said, always wake up in the morning and be bright and happy, and let the bad thoughts behind, the bad thoughts of slavery, the bad thoughts of Donald Trump. We're looking forward to getting rid of these bastards, and we want the Republic, and we want to investigate, and we want everything to come out to show the who and what Donald Trump is. Because if you show everybody who and what Donald Trump is, if we prove he's a Russian spy, if we prove he's a rapist, if we prove he's a god dog on pedophile, yeah, it's coming out. Yeah. All you people out there in the church is coming out. Everybody who backed this pig is coming out. Huh? The truth about Donald Trump is coming out. It's just about a year away. All you need to do is vote Democrat. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Now, I told you out there, you better go register as a Democrat. The Republican is trying to steal the election. He told the Republican voters, we don't need you to vote anymore, but he needs you to be registered, so he can manipulate the numbers and cheat. But if you're a Democrat, he can't manipulate the numbers. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Okay, you got a choice, Republican. Don't fucking vote. If you don't like the Democrat, don't fucking vote. Don't take shit from us when we get in power. Sit your stink ass on the sideline. You see what I'm trying to say? You voted against yourself. You see what I'm trying to tell you? You voted for evil. So stop calling the Democrats' name, okay? Because we're not the people. Like I was trying to tell you, your enemy is Donald Trump and the maggots, and the maggots are fighting. You understand? So liberals stand back. Those some basically kill each other. The ones who know that Donald Trump is lying about these files and he tricked them, which I think is 90 goddamn percent of them, because you got to be fucking stupid, if you don't see what Donald Trump is doing to you and the country. If you can't see that he took all your money and gave it to the billionaires, then you're a fool. Then you're in a cult, just like Eastmonte says. You see what I'm saying? And I want everybody to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, we have 434 people, subscribers. We're trying to go to 500 to start off. We hadn't been in business that long, so we're happy, and we have not implemented all the tools that we're going to implement to get information out to the people, because this is a one-man show. You know what I'm saying? I'm here until Donald Trump is out of office. Then me and the wife are going to revert to gardening, which we love, you see, and not have to deal with this politics shit. But right now, we need a strong voice. And that strong voice is Heavy Monte, a liberal Democrat crying out to the American people, saying to you that you cannot vote for a Republican. Okay? You can't do it. You can't do it because you see who and what Republicans are. Domestic terrorists. And then they're trying to parrot this shit back on us. The Democrats, goddamn domestic terrorists. They were calling us bleeding heart liberals. But bleeding heart, he'll help anybody out. You know what I'm saying? Doing just what God wants us to do. Love one another. He didn't put any things on it to say that if a person is gay, you can't love them. In the Bible, hate gay people. That's bullshit. You understand? And I'm gonna tell you something else. Child, gay people are in the church, and they're some of the especially the black church, they're some of the most religious people in the freaking world. They're choir directors, they're ushers, they're ministers, they're all the stuff, working for God. But the Republican Party worked for the devil, and the devil is Donald Trump. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Podcast, the Heavy Monte Comedy Show, the Heavy Monte Morning Show. Coming soon. The Heavy Monte website, coming soon, America. The Heavy Monte newsletter. So Heavy Monte's got 42 years of experience. An old man that knows a lot about this country. An old man who has worked for several presidents. An old man whose unit jumped out of a helicopter with George Herbert Bush, my hero. You see what I'm saying? A decent, respectable Republican. Somebody who loved this country and said, even though I'm going to lose the election, we need to raise the taxes to keep the economy flowing. So I'm going to look out for the American people. I'm going to lose the election. Even though I promised no new taxes. That's a president. His son, George Bush, came out and said, I made a big mistake with the economy, Barack. I'm going to help you fix it. He didn't come out and go, well, it's the liberals' fault the economy is bad. He said, I take responsibility for this fucked up economy. And he met with Obama, and Obama started getting everything together. And the Republicans came out and said, we don't want a black man president. We don't want a black woman president. And they're racist. I don't understand it, because there are no white people, like I told you. So if there's no white people, there's no white supremacy. You have never seen a person this color, and you never will. The color of my hat. This is just some stuff they're bringing up to separate us. We are one people, and we're going to demand that you get rid of all this racial shit. I am an American. A Vietnam veteran. who have taken and defended this country and served this nation for 42 years of my 70 years on this dang earth. I'm proud to be an American. Hmm? Proud to say how much I love this country. Proud to say how much I love those damn maggots. And I am sad for them. Sad. Sad for their families. Sad for their children who are going around gunning down people based on this maggot ideology and following a creep like Donald Trump. you know. So this is Heavy Monte saying, please subscribe to the Heavy Monte YouTube channel. Never vote for Republican again. This is my morning show, and we're going to have one every morning, America, until Donald Trump is out, until Heavy Monte can retire from this political thing and go into gardening. But until that, we'll be here every day telling you never, ever vote for a Republican. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can tell everybody that Donald Trump is a low down, dirty, lying dog and he deserves to be in jail. And his theme song, the song that he should say is, "You're in the jailhouse now." All right, America. And please subscribe and have a great day. And when you wake up this morning, think about the day that there are no more Republicans in office anywhere.